and welcome to airgunweb.com, your home for honest, real-world airgun reviews and information where we tell you the facts, not fluff. Today I'm going to finally look at wrestling down the differences between filling your PCP gun with a standard 80 cubic foot 3000 PSI aluminum tank versus the new Air Venturi 88 cubic foot 4500 PSI carbon fiber tank. Before we get down to just facts and figures, I want to take a moment and thank Pyramid Air for providing our review products and for sponsoring our channel. For more information on any of the products you see here today, please visit www.pyramidair.com. Now, let's take a good close-up look at this new 4500 PSI air tank from Air Venturi.
The Air Venturi Carbon Fiber tank sells as a complete fill station for around $696 and has many advantages over a standard 3000 PSI aluminum tank. First and foremost, you will get significantly more useful fills from a 4500 PSI tank than from a standard 3000 PSI tank. How many more fills will be determined by the type of gun that you have and your shooting style and requirements. Another important benefit is the weight, or in this case, the lack of weight. A full aluminum tank weighs about 48 pounds, while the larger 4500 PSI carbon fiber tank weighs a mere 18 pounds when full. This is a big deal if you have to carry or move your tank around a lot. Unlike when you purchase a standard scuba tank, the Air Venturi 4500 PSI carbon fiber tank comes equipped with all the hoses and fittings to handle the industry standard Foster style quick disconnect fittings, including an integrated pressure gauge that shows your current pressure and an auxiliary pressure gauge, which is very helpful when filling tanks like the Air Force tanks that don't have an integrated pressure gauge. Like other high pressure equipment, the 4500 PSI carbon fiber tank requires regular inspection and testing. Currently you must have the tank hydro tested every 5 years and visually inspected every year. Also, the current certification allows for a 15-year lifespan of the tank, after which you can no longer get it serviced or filled at a certified shop. But as you will learn in this video, the value difference over those 15 years is well worth the added cost, even taking into consideration the 15-year shelf life.
Thinking about how to do this review took a lot longer than actually doing the review. But I did finally settle on the following method. I filled my Benjamin Marauder to 3000 PSI per the gauge on the rifle. Then I shot 4 magazines equaling 40 shots. Now that dropped my pressure to around 2000 PSI, give or take a bit. I refilled the gun with a fresh 3000 PSI tank and repeated the process of shooting 40 shots, checking the gauge each time to make sure I was in the right ballpark. I continued this until the gun would not fill to 3000 PSI according to the gauge on the rifle. Now, I basically got about 5 full fills, yielding 200 shots. Now I could continue to fill and shoot, which is exactly what I've done in the past. In the end, I normally use a tank about 15 to 20 times, and then I set it aside to take back to the scuba shop. I generally top off my rifle when it gets to just below 2000 PSI. On average, I get between 500 to 650 shots or so per scuba tank, depending on how powerful I need the shots to be. Not bad for the $7 it costs to fill the tank. Now for this part of the experiment, however, I just want to look at the full 3000 PSI fill numbers, which average to about 200 shots per 3000 PSI aluminum tank. Now we're going to contrast that with the new 88 cubic foot 4500 PSI carbon fiber tank from Air Venturi. Again, using the built-in pressure gauge, I started with a full rifle, and this time I just degassed it down to 2000 PSI. Again, this is right in the ballpark of shooting 40 shots. I just proceeded to do this exercise until the carbon fiber tank would no longer bring the Marauder back up to a full 3000 PSI. When I was done, I counted all my hash marks, and I had topped off the Marauder over 65 times, let's use round numbers here, equaling 2600 shots. The benefit of the carbon fiber tank over the aluminum tank is really significant. How does this work out financially now? Well, this gets a little murky, but I'm going to do the best I can here. You can get more than 200 shots from an aluminum tank, obviously, people do. But you can also get more than just the 2600 shots from the carbon fiber tank. So here's how it breaks down if you must use just 3000 psi. The ratio is about 13:1 in favor of the Air Venturi carbon fiber tank versus the standard aluminum tank. At say an average of $7 per fill, that's $91 to fill an aluminum tank to get the same number of shots as you would from a single fill of the Air Venturi 4500 psi tank. This also does not take into consideration the travel time and expense to and from the fill location either. More than likely, that number may be more than double with gas prices the way they are today. Realistically, if you have an aluminum tank, you're not going to run down and have it topped off after only 5 fills. You're going to use it until it's no longer useful. So if we take that into consideration and look at the numbers again, let's say you get an average of say 600 shots with your aluminum tank because you're not going to take it up to 3000 every time. Well, to apply the same principle to the carbon fiber tank, I calculated that 2600 shots going to about 3600 shots. So in the case of the, say, Benjamin Marauder rifle, comparing the aluminum tank to the carbon fiber tank, the ratio realistically is about 6:1. So you're going to be spending $42 to fill your aluminum tank for every $7 you spend to fill your Air Venturi 4500 psi carbon fiber tank. So why do all this math anyway? Well, the carbon fiber tank goes for around $696, including the fill attachments and auxiliary pressure gauge. Compare that to a similarly equipped new aluminum tank, which comes in about $375 plus or minus a few bucks. That's a pretty big difference. Now, depending on how much you shoot, you may recoup the difference fairly quickly. After you've filled the 4500 psi tank 7 or 8 times, you've actually made up the difference already. Again, this doesn't really take into consideration the travel expenses to and from the fill station. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. To make a very fair comparison, I used only new products and compared retail to retail pricing. I also used a fairly common product and method to demonstrate the concept. For example, I used the Benjamin Marauder rifle. Now, whether it's a 13:1 or a 6:1 or say even a 5:1, it's undeniable that the 4500 psi carbon fiber tank will give you significantly more useful shots. Now, depending on the type of shooting you do, how much you shoot, and what type of gun you shoot, it may be that the added upfront cost of the carbon fiber tank may equal big savings for you down the road. The only downside I see to the carbon fiber tank at this point, besides the high startup cost, is that currently it has a 15-year shelf life according to the special permit it's classed under. Now, it may be that this changes over time, but if it doesn't, there'll be a day where you can no longer be able to get this filled. The jury's still out on that right now, and I hope that they do change that certification. But even with a 15-year shelf life, the savings with even moderate shooting will have more than covered the cost of the tank, possibly several times over. Whether you're an avid shooter looking to get more value from your HPA fills or a newcomer to the PCP game, then seriously consider the Air Venturi 4500 psi carbon fiber tank. The value and savings over time are simply undeniable. I would like to take a moment to thank Pyramid Air for providing today's products and for sponsoring our channel. You can find all the products used in this review on their website at www.pyramidair.com. When you're looking for your next airgun or you're looking to fill your next airgun supply order, please visit www.pyramidair.com or give them a call at 888-262-4867. Please be sure to let them know that you learned about them here at Airgun Web. When you're looking for honest, real-world airgun reviews and information, think Airgun Web, where we tell you the facts, not fluff. I'm Rick Usler with AirgunWeb.com. Thanks again for watching.